But now, maybe. We'll see. Let's see. But yeah, the goal for this stream will be to grind as many final bosses as possible. Down there in the bottom, you will see finals broken. Final can have quite a few glitches going on in it, and I'm going to just try to keep track of how many happens. I usually don't encounter it that often, and I do have a little less stream lag than I used to since I changed my settings around last stream. So we'll see. But basically, yeah, we're going to grind. There is a double item drops event going on right now, which basically means any items you're grinding doubles that. Really overpowered for grinding gum in the back door, and also grinding final boss, or basically any other bosses. So we're going to go ahead and do grinding some final for today. I've done a little bit yesterday. I'm planning on doing some more tomorrow and on Monday, just to capitalize as much as possible on this event. But hello, Antony, in chat. Hello, everyone else who's said hi. I know I said got to some of you guys before, but like hello, Margaret, Monty. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of the slower stream, basically just doing final boss over and over again. And honestly, I kind of got the cycle of final down, so not going to be too much going on really. Yeah, voting to skip does apparently cause some problems, so I'm going to avoid that on the first few a little bit until like I get comfortable enough to not want to. Yeah, tell me if the music in the background's too loud. I kind of messed around with those settings a little bit. I downloaded a little bit more off YouTube's free thing. You speak Polish? I do not speak any language other than English. I am a monolingual, which other languages are cool, but I'm not smart enough to know that many, unfortunately. Yeah, I think after this stream, I'm planning on streaming for like 3 hours or so, which should, in theory, give me time for 12 bosses, which with each boss giving me 16 keys, which you guys can start to see where that math gets a little bit crazy. I think it's almost 200 keys that I'm planning on getting from this stream. But yeah, I think we did vote skip, which may cause some problems or may not. Really depends on what the boss feels like, to be honest. A lot of it has to do with some client or server desyncs, which can happen. Which one of the major ones is during that jump attack, since it does change the Y height of it. It can very easily break like the whole thing. So it looks like we are going to be pretty good, but you really don't know until it either does the swing attack at you and sets its Y-axis, or you get it down and your shots start doing no damage. Hello! Yeah, hopefully the plan is to do that. I don't know, as I said, final boss can be a bit glitchy, so we may be at like half or probably no worse than half capacity on grinding, but yeah. And it looks like we are good to go on this boss not getting glitched. It's usually in that first little part before he does that first little attack that you kind of have to hope that he hasn't glitched out, but yeah, looks like we'll be good for this one. No, I know they removed the ghost spawning from the game. Like, it won't summon ghosts anymore, which is really helpful, for, like, it's really helpful since it really didn't do anything to begin with and can cause a little bit more lag since it does require some more server and client syncs. But final boss on itself is kind of glitchy since, as you can see, like, I can interact with it on my computer, which you don't think of that too much, but when you start realizing how like clients and games are made, the fact that you can interact with it so nicely on your computer normally means that the client is rendering it, but the server itself is still like running some of the code for it. So there's code going on in both of those, and having those sync up is probably what causes the majority of the lag on the actual fight. It'd be cool if all previous events came back with untradeable pets/boards. I know a lot of people always regret like missing items or stuff like that in like games before they played. I don't think it should be solved by bringing those stuff back, but rather like, unless you like, it's said beforehand that you're going to be bringing it back like every event, or like it's like the game's choice. But like, I don't think for most games or items it makes sense to like bring them back too much for people who miss them, just since it should be something special for people who played during that time. But you can always go on like new events, go gather those items, and those could be your cool base items. I know it's not the same as like having all those old nostalgic items and stuff like that, but still, it's one of those things that you really can't change, and is sort of just how time works. I've never seen the boss break if you don't skip the cutscene. Yes, skipping the cutscene does cause a few more problems, but some can still happen even if you don't skip. And right now we're getting a lot of lag. Not a surprise. My computer is not necessarily the best at doing all this stuff at the same time, so we'll sort of just try our best, I guess. That was weird. It didn't actually hit us on that time. Yeah, I need like some better cooling or something. My computer overheats quite a bit. I don't know how exactly to do that, since it is like just a laptop, so it isn't like it has any like easily. And I don't really know how to change stuff out anyways. But yeah. What would you? Sorry to bother, but help you with Rebirth? Actually, yeah, great question. I know a lot of people Rebirth and want to know what to do. I'm assuming by excluded you means you already have Ghostly Vision and Lucky Eyes. If you already have those two, you should definitely go for Master Hunter. It speeds up your next few rebirths quite a bit, and will honestly, I don't have Master Hunter on my alts, which I've been trying to grind up a little bit on recently. And the difference between having Master Hunter and rebirthing and not is quite ridiculous. So go for Master Hunter. It'll speed up your next few rebirths by a lot. Allows you to skip Finsley and get 3 ghosts at a time, basically. So, yeah. Are you farming Final for collection, or are you finished the Blocks by Crate collection? I'm doing it for the small chance of getting a classified. I already have all the stuff in the crate. I just want to get as many keys as possible so I have a decent chance at getting it classified. Maybe we'll get lucky and get like 5. We probably won't even get 1. Well, I have barely enough keys for like 800 or so Blocks by keys. And that'll still take quite a bit of time over the next few days to actually use, so yeah. Okay, it looks like we managed to break the final boss due to lag. Like, this is what I'm talking about. Ooh, never mind. It came back. But yeah, no, final boss is still kind of glitchy even if you don't skip, because of the client and server. They have some weird desyncs that can happen. Because it is trying to make sure that you can interact with it on your client easily, and it interacts with you more than anything, so that you can like actually see attacks and only get hit by attacks that actually hit you on your screen. Explaining it is kind of complicated, but yeah, there's just some weird stuff that can happen during the final. I don't see the point of endgame classifieds apart from rarity if you can just get a full team of divine pets and they serve almost the same purpose. Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's a certain point when you start to realize that more stats doesn't help you too much. even though like more stats give you more currency, like getting more currency once you get more stats is meaningless. It's a weird thing, but there's a big enough difference that it's worth it, I think. And at the like worst case scenario, they're bigger flex than divines are. Like divines are super easy to get. What should I take after Master Hunter? Divine rewards, any tycoon? In my opinion, they just fixed Ecto-Bit Tycoon, so after getting Master Hunter, you should just spam Ecto-Bit Tycoon for the next 20 rebirths. Or if you aren't doing as many as 20 rebirths, just for every single rebirth, just do Ecto-Bit Tycoon. It is by far the best way to get gems. Tycoons, since currencies matter so much more than like vacuum speed, which you get from Pet Evo. But yeah, Ecto-Bit Tycoon by far. Much better gem rate, and since it doesn't have a game pass, if you don't have game passes, it's even better. But yeah, it's Ecto-Bit Tycoon is so good. It's unfortunate that's been broken for so long, and the devs finally got around to fixing it. But yeah, Ecto-Bit Tycoon, and then once you get 20 Ecto-Bit Tycoons, best strategy is to switch between Ecto-Bit Tycoon and Pet Evo. Just do Ecto-Bit Tycoon, Pet Evo, Ecto-Bit Tycoon, on and on and on until you want to stop. That's the best strategy for like gem boost. There's a certain point where you may want to do some other stuff, but like most people really at this point, gem boost is the main thing they're really rebirthing for, so. Yeah, some of the music from the YouTube's free music catalog is really good. Are blocks like crate classifieds more common than normal classifieds, or are they the same rarity? They definitely have a lower rarity like per crate. I mean, they do take a little bit more time than like, let's say, Gem Crate 1 or 2 or something to unbox. So they're like, as a whole, they're rarer than like Cosmic Wing, I think. Just since Cosmic Wing is a little bit easier for endgame people to get than a Dev Classified is. But yeah, they're much easier to get rarity-wise per crate than normal Classifieds. Which is why Cloudwave is actually rarer than any Dev Classified, even though it has much higher stats and is in an earlier crate. Or much lower. Did I say higher or lower? Even though it has slightly lower stats and is in a previous crate. What's your favorite item from a Dev crate? I mean, Static Phase, the purple cloud thing is really cool since it is purple. But like, COVID K's hoverboard is ridiculously good looking. Like, it's so simple and yet so looks really good. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff, but in general, literally anything from but the Diddy's corrupted hoverboard is great, in my opinion. But yeah, if I had to choose, I'd probably go for Coven K's corrupted hoverboard or the Static Phase, depending on my mood. What's the best looking divine reward in my opinion? So I would say Oculus Overseer. I like how it came first. I am trying to currently forget that the newest divine set exists. Since if I remember that it exists, I'm going to have to say my opinion on it, which it's not a positive opinion. But yeah, congrats on the 1,000. Yeah, we hit 1,000 subscribers. This is really cool. It's been kind of like hovering around there for a while, and then it just kind of shot up recently. It was cool. It's been kind of my long-term YouTube goal, just to get that 1K so you can finally monetize. We'll see how we go from here, but like I don't really have any goals like after this point in YouTube, so it'll be mainly hobby at this point. But yeah. Isn't the new one just a red seer? Yes, it is exactly Spirit Seer, but red. It is. I'm not going to say lazy, since devs have other stuff they work on, but in my opinion, it shouldn't have been added. The whole set as a whole is just way too bland, and there's like really no reason to include it. Like, it contributes nothing to the game. How is it to make videos? Sometimes making videos is really fun, and like that's the main thing I do it for, is just because it's fun and something to use my time on. But sometimes it's a little bit more annoying. Like, I haven't made a video, I feel like, in a while on my channel, and so like I'm trying to think about a video to make that I would like to make, but that would also be useful to YouTube. And it's just sometimes it does feel a little bit chorey, but you know, for most of the time it's kind of fun. What do the NPCs do in that fight? They're just a visual, and just to tie in for lore is the main reason the NPCs exist. They don't do anything to the actual fight itself. They just look cool, I guess. Ooh, lag might cause something to break here. As a general rule, if you're lagging during the final boss fight, problems arise. So, streaming these final boss fights may not be the best. Like, you see how that did that thing in the reverse order? That's just weird. Oh boy. We're just hoping it doesn't break. Yeah, blue fits it a lot more. I think it was to fix the spot where second arc was. Maybe? I don't really know. I think they just felt like they haven't added any Rebirth perks in a while, so they felt like they had to, and so they just stuffed in that filler one, which is not how it should be, in my opinion. It should be like good stuff, but at the same time you realize, like, if they added that at the same time they added spirits here, if they added them at the same time, people wouldn't care that they look the exact same. It'd be like giving a different color variant. But yeah. My first ever Rebirth was Ghostly Vision. I would recommend people going Master Hunter first. But yeah, Ghostly Vision's like, Ghostly Vision's like the clear choice for most new players. It's kind of obvious. New bosses is a lot more than like a new ghost or anything else that appears. So yeah, I mean, it also helps for Yoko, which is really nice. And definitely not stated enough, but yeah. Rebirths, I think, are pretty self-evident to new players on what to pick. Like, once you get into Rebirth, most players will have a good knowledge of to pick a pretty good perk. I mean, like, even Pettivo, I know I say is bad a lot, but it's... I was about to increment the amount of finals that got broken, since it looks like it just glitched away. But one of the bigger problems, I think, is like new players to the game, like, they don't understand like main hub progression. I know so many players who are working on like stupid quests in the main hub. By stupid, I just mean like a waste of time. Like, Dylan is the big one that a lot of people spend way too much time working on, and then they see that's a bad reward and are just annoyed at the game or angry and just stop playing because it takes so long. So if anything, like, I wish I could give the people who need advice on like main hub and like Ghost World more. Finals broken? Are you talking about that final egg? No, I'm talking about legitimately how many final bosses end up bugging out and me not being able to defeat them. Like, there, I defeated the boss without too much problems. A little bit of lag, but literally I am counting the amount of times that I have to restart a final boss because it decided to like glitch out of the map or throw me out of the map or do something else stupid that just breaks it. But yeah. I wish second arc pets weren't better / worse than Adam, because you can just rebirth and get a better / same stat pet plus a rebirth perk and a slight gem boost. Yeah, pet stats are broken at this point. Devs have definitely stopped caring about like stat progression, which is fine. Honestly, they're more focusing on lore right now, which I guess makes sense for how they've been structuring Ghost Similar. I'm kind of annoyed that they don't have better like stat progression to the game, but it is what it is, I guess. Hello, Poke Ninja. Yeah, it's... Do you think this is the end of the story, or do you think they'll make more of the story? Well, they have all of second arc, which hasn't done anything yet. So they're definitely going to have to introduce a villain to that. Resolution. They still need to do a lot of the story for second arc. After second arc, though, I can't see too much more where they could expand. But I said that before, like, Rebirth, that they couldn't add Rebirths. So, there's definitely more they can do. But they have also said that they are planning on releasing another game in this year. So, we might be getting that soon, and they may stop just developing Ghost Similar because not enough players play it. Like, even right now, the player count's a little bit lower, but yeah. Hello, Roblox Celestia. The boss hits you when you're down. Yeah, the final boss can be a little bit annoying. I hope we get a pet storage guy in the main hub, like Reed. Yeah, I don't know. I know new players really like storage. I don't know how much, though, they really need more storage space, to be honest. And honestly, I think Reed is nowhere near enough storage for new players, or literally any player, to be honest, on that. And that is going to be a rejoin. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right now with the final broken. That was, you guys saw how it was doing the orb attack and still on the ground. Basically, once that orb attack finishes, it ends up glitching either above or below the map, and it breaks. I'm gonna go grind for gum. Bye. Goodbye. Yeah, grinding for gum right now is a great idea. So definitely try to do some grinding in Ghost Sim. Yeah, that's the big one that happens when you skip. And is probably one of the most common ones, since it's like a 1 in 4 chance every time you skip for it to happen. So that's kind of the reason why people suggest you don't skip, and I probably shouldn't be skipping. It's just, I don't know if the time loss for me switching servers every like quarter thing versus skipping every, I don't know. It seems like it may be more time efficient just to just skip to save that time versus do the other one, but yeah. Yeah, yep. The glitching above the ground, though, doesn't happen necessarily when you, I don't know. It may happen when you skip, but basically it's why it gets messed up somehow. Fortunately, when it's floating, you can still defeat it, but it can occasionally like float at a weird height, like way too high. But yeah. Is this game players going more low every month? It's kind of been steady for the last few months. It's probably going to die down, though, after this doubles items event. Like, it's right now at an artificial high. Like, I think there's 1,000 people or so playing Ghost Simulator right now. It's going to crash, like, really hard after this double items event ends. It's probably going to be, like, down to 100 or 200 for the next week. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, because basically if it does any of, like, the other 4 attacks, it's fine. I don't see, like, why you'd skip if it just only breaks on 1 attack. Like, the time loss versus time gain doesn't make sense in my head. I wonder if the new world will have villain as... Ooh, I missed that. I wonder if the new world will have villain as a quest giver if it has new crates. Probably not. I'm guessing that they won't do that Illin arc anymore. They'll probably use like new or old NPCs, ones that are like forgotten by the developers, if anything. Big candidates are going to be like Joker as Bo, which is definitely going to be one of the big ones that's going to come out of the thing. But yeah. Fun fact, I was soloing the final boss, but as soon as the shield broke, did the orb attack and got stuck, so I couldn't attack him at all. Yeah. Lag can do some weird things when you're fighting the boss. It's also possible, I know there's a very, very annoying bug that can happen that people just... I don't know what just happened, but we will pretend. We'll hope that everything's working out fine. But yeah, computer does some overheating, lag problems. It's not as bad as it used to be. But yeah, we are struggling right now with the boss. This is what I'm saying. It's probably. Oh man, I see a pro Ghost Simulator person right here. Yeah, as I'm getting like batted around by the final boss like no one's business with all the lag. Alright, I think we should be doing a little bit better. I don't know. No, it's my computer actually. If you guys see the stream lagging, it's usually going to be my computer not having fun processing Roblox. Alright. When did I hit 1K? I actually hit it like last week or something, like sometime last week. It was pretty nice. That was kind of like my only goal for YouTube. Like after you hit 1K, subscribers are, I mean, they're nice, but they're more of a meaningless number since they don't like directly translate into like money or anything like that. Face cam. Yeah, the face cam is actually not in too bad quality. I've been thinking about like using my phone as a face cam rather than this, but I feel like it may not be worth it necessarily. It'd be a little bit harder to set up, but yeah. It'll be like 5 hours of progress in a code that takes 10 seconds to type out. Yeah, codes are getting a little bit ridiculous in the game. You're the first one actually reading the comments I just typed. Thank you. Being a small YouTuber makes me much able to read like comments and stuff and reply. So it's good for you guys. It's also fun for me since right now I'm doing kind of a mindless thing. It's not quite mindless. I do need to like pay some attention to make sure I don't like get hit a billion times and lose a lot of time. But it's definitely not by any stretch of the imagination a very interesting stream for you guys. You're just going to be watching basically the same thing, same 15-minute cycle of defeating a final boss at a very laggy thing for like the next 2 hours. Yeah, it was a little bit afterwards, but yeah, that was the main stream that pushed me to that 1K. It was kind of ridiculous how many subscribers I joined during that stream. I mean, makes sense. It is kind of one of the more clickbaity things on Ghost Simulator that people see and like they understand the rarity and it's actually cool to go for. But still. Is it even possible to lose the final boss? No, if you're good at the game. Yes, if you're laggy or aren't shooting enough. It's hard. It's hard to lose the final boss. And since you don't have a corruption, you're pretty much fine even if you get hit by like every other attack. The main ways to lose it is if it breaks by glitching out of the map, like up or down. But can also happen if you, for instance, just get very bad RNG or very lost during the last like 2.5 minutes. But yeah. All the classifieds should be buffed to fit their average cost, like from crates 1 to 6. No, they definitely shouldn't. Like average cost. The thing about if that was so, like either Rainwave would be useless, or like Cosmic Wing would be ridiculous higher stats. Like when you look at game progression, it's not always, it isn't like it should be balanced to the gem cost. It needs to be like get slightly harder, so each new like improvement of a certain amount needs to cost like a little bit more. So rather than like increasing linearly, like a line, you need to increase like exponentially. So you need to start increasing the difficulty for each new progression point, rather than just making it linear. Also, classifieds actually, honestly, getting any classified between like Rainwave and up to even like Hailstorm, they have like the same difficulty since it's mainly the amount of time you spend unboxing, since the gems usually aren't a problem for most people that go for a classified. Yeah, lag can be a big issue when you're fighting the final boss. If you're super laggy, you're going to struggle quite a bit with it. By the way, I'm the person who told you to make an update review on my other YouTube account. Yeah, I know. Thank you for that. I used to make update reviews. It's definitely a good video idea for updates, especially since it gives everyone a very end game knowledge, and it really like makes people understand the game more. I think update reviews are a great video idea. I don't know. It never really worked out when I was making them, so I don't feel like making them more often. Maybe I'll get back to them eventually, but right at the moment I don't see myself doing that. Do you have any toy boards or pets? I'd like to see if it's worth to buy the toys. No, I don't. I'd also, you can go search like the wiki for them, which would probably be the best way to find out where they are and what they are. In general, I'd say don't buy it for like the pet or board. Just buy it if you want like the toy. Like pets and boards and go similar. Like even like most things are going to be. Oh, we got very bad comboed right there, but yeah. Ghost Hunter Reed is not worth it in your opinion? I think objectively Ghost Hunter Reed is not worth it. I think he's a 6 times worse than Ghost Hunter Joven in Ghost World, because you get 3 times the normal board storage as you get pet storage to begin with, and then he also gives you half the additional storage, so it just isn't worth it to do Reed at all. Just because his board storage is just so small, like you get a quarter more storage. It's basically nothing, and either you're using that 100 and the extra 25 doesn't help a lot, or you aren't using that 100 and the 25 is meaningless. That's literally the only way it goes. It's not enough. But yeah. Does the Mega Boss Crate have a classified like Flux Fight? No. There is not a classified in the Great Guardians chest. Maybe in the future. Like, it's the thing, Time Progression has sort of added, like, those ideas of having classifieds in their crates. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Like, Corrupteds are only in block spot crates because that's kind of what time they got added, but yeah. What is your best pet and how did you get it? Sorry for all the questions. Stat-wise, wow. Stat-wise, my best pet is going to be the Divines, and I got them from Rebirthing. Rarity-wise, I think Zing is probably my best one, which I got from a stream last week. That most people probably seen since it was kind of a high view video on my channel. But best pet as in like rarity, not like Zing rarity, but like actual rarity would be Snowflake. I'll show you guys really quick. Probably now. This Snowflake, let's see if I can find it. There it is. And because it's level 0, it's very rare. I got it from a friend playing a long time ago when they accidentally added a few level 0 pets to the game, but yeah. No. Yeah, no, I think Reed is just bad. I don't think there's any other way to say it. He just isn't worth the time. I wonder if crates will have a comeback in the New World. They almost certainly will. The problem is structuring them. They probably won't even be like gem related, would be my guess. Like similar to how Void used keys, I'm guessing the New World crates would use like its own currency. And maybe reset pets. Like using a different pet stat or something. I don't know. With the New World, it'll be very interesting to see what they do. And definitely going to be big. How's it level 0? Back a long time ago, developers, when they added pets to people's inventories, like through a devlog while the player wasn't online, pets that got added got set to level 0. So rather than being like level 1 to begin with, they all started at level 0. And a big way where level 0 pets came out was during they had a Christmas contest, mainly for art, during or after their Christmas 2019 event. So a lot of random Christmas items ended up getting a level 0 Duke Fit. I think there's about 10 of them in the game currently. Mostly like 6 or 7 ringers, but also level 0 Snowflake, which I have, a level 0 Mini Scrooge, which someone else still has, and then there's also level 0 Holly, which someone deleted. But yeah, it's just a random thing that happened. I have a video on like what's the rarest items in Ghost Simulator, where I cover a little bit more detail on it if you want to watch that, but yeah. Should I focus on rebirthing or doing second arc? I would say focus on rebirthing before you focus on doing any second arc stuff. Like, second arc really isn't super time sensitive. You can do it like anytime and still be fine. And honestly, it's easier to do second arc once you're done with like rebirthing and stuff, and you're settled on like a good account with max stuff, since quests are easier then. And so just rebirth, since you don't prepare too much for a rebirth, and if you like prepare a lot for a rebirth, it kind of makes it harder to rebirth. But yeah. Well, I didn't win the contest for it. A friend gave it to me that did win the contest. I don't know if they play anymore. I know they're still in the Discord, but I don't know if they play Ghost Simulator anymore. If they ask for it back, I'd definitely give it to them since it is theirs. And honestly, I feel like I'm more just borrowing it than anything. But I do get good use out of talking about it. Then, so yeah. Solo final boss is easier in my opinion. Yeah, for sure. I would say final solo makes any bosses much easier. But yeah. Yep. If you aren't doing with good people, or at least people you're same quality of defeating, doing with more people is silly. So either do with people that are just as good as you or better. But yeah. If you are really laggy though, having other people that are better than you can help out a bit. I mean, if you're a long-term player like me that has a decent PC that can handle it, you don't usually have too many problems anyways, but yeah. I still feel like I need to download some more YouTube music. They have like a free stuff music that you can download for content, and honestly, having these streams with the music in the background is really nice, I think. Do you know if there will be an Easter event? I would guess yes. The developers have sent an egg in the Discord, and also asked for Easter pet concepts, or spring pet concepts, one of those two. But so there will likely be a spring or Easter event in Ghost Simulator. Most likely. It may be small, but most likely there will be. I mean, before they sent those messages, I was guessing there wouldn't be, but I would expect one at this point. Yeah, when the game released, there was a lot of players and a lot of YouTubers. The game was so hyped when it came out the first time. And honestly, it makes sense, but like it's kind of confusing for younger people or to understand, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I wasn't there during like the early parts of Ghost Simulator, so I can't make a good guess on why people left. I would guess that people just kind of maxed out their game, hit the max limit of Ghost Simulator, and then realized how much progression was after that point, and just decided it wasn't worth it. And then as the new content slowly rolled out, people weren't willing to wait or grind for the stuff between updates. And honestly, there's a lot of people like that only play like during a good update or after an update. Which probably makes a lot of sense, since that's usually how people play games, is big update, play for a while, and then stop. But yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a grindy game, and I think the bigger problem is not the amount of grind that it is, but how complicated it is for new people to understand what to grind. Like, if you get into Main Hub right now, there is no clear direction on which NPCs you do. Like, right in the forest instantly, you have Gabe, you have Dylan, you have Yuwu, and you have this other random NPC that you can't even talk to yet, so you don't know what to really focus on, and that's a big problem I think with new players getting into Ghost Simulator, is they just don't know how to. It just gets worse as you can continue progressing. You have Adam, and then you also have Liz, which isn't too bad, but then you have Gramps, which is a major time sink that you can do, and now you have Reed. Main Hub is just a mess for new players to try to understand. I hope Santa gets his revenge on the Easter Bunny this year. Yikes. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of Miss-themed events. Like, one of my pet concepts, I got 2 pet concepts in last on Christmas event. But one of them was a, let me just show you which one it was. It was a pretty cool concept, I think. It's not really rare. It's an uncommon. But yeah, I think it's a cool concept. But yeah, I like that idea of mixing up the events or doing just the randomest stuff in certain places. Let's find it. No, we were scrolled too far. There we go. This was my concept from that event. It's a elf wearing sunglasses and a Hawaiian shirt. Because, you know, there are people that have Christmas in the summer, so I decided to mix it up a little bit. But yeah, I played during the Dino event. The game was so not complicated. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of complications needed as the game expands. So, that's another broken one from skipping. Like, we're currently 50 and 50 on that. You guys might be right. It may not be worth it to skip at that point, but yeah. Yes, ×2 affects the final boss drops. It is broken. You probably saw I got 16 keys from defeating the final boss once. Which on a good day would mean 64 keys an hour. On a bad day, it's going to mean 48 keys an hour, so that's what I'm aiming for today. But yeah, it is. Double drops is broken. There's no other way to say it. I don't think double drops should have ever came back. But it did, and so we might as well abuse it. One quarter of the main hub quest should be moved to Ghost World. Well, Ghost World's even more confusing than main hub. Like, I tried making a guide for Ghost World since I felt like new players really needed that guide. I don't think anyone that actually can use it will ever find it. That's the problem. Like, making content to help new players aren't going to be searching for the content. It's going to be old players that are going to be the ones that watch my content. So it's kind of a problem. Don't say what. I'm assuming you're talking about saying that double items is broken. In which case, it is. It is way too good. And shouldn't exist, but yeah. What's my favorite game outside of Roblox? I would probably have to go with Minecraft. Although right now I'm also enjoying, like, Brawl Stars. I'm playing quite a bit in Defenders of Texel Online, which is a remake of an old game that I used to play when I was much younger. I'm also enjoying quite a bit right now, so those are quite a bit. It saves me a lot of loot gum. Yes, I know it's good for players, but what's good and fun for players is not good for the game itself. Okay, this is getting ridiculous. Ooh. Maybe. Yeah, I think we should just stop right now and go server hop and increment this counter. Double item Lucky Cat grind is the best, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it's the only way that Lucky Cat's drops get affected, but I think Final's objectively better since it actually has good rewards, unlike Lucky Cat. Have you ever played Minecraft Hypixel Skyblock? I have. I haven't played recently. So there's a lot of new content on there that I'm probably never going to get to, honestly. I probably won't end up playing that, like, ever again, to be honest, but yeah. Yeah, the thing is, Lucky Cat, it's not good stat-wise. It doesn't scale, whereas, like, Final Boss scales. Since it does have the best pet stats that you can get, but also some of those mid-tier stats. So if, like, anyone can go grind Final Boss and get something they can use. New players can go get stats like Corrupted Heads or the Mythicals even. Mid-tier players can go get Mini Final if they want. Or you can go for the Dev Classified and get really lucky. What gear did you have? I was bad, honestly. I think it was like, I barely got to like the end thingy, or not barely, but I like got to the end thingy. They released the dungeons, whatever nonsense, and I kind of just stopped playing after that. I'd like the speed dragon gear thingies, which like everyone had, and it was dropping in price rapidly. It was meh. I also had like protector dragon gear, which was horrible apparently, but you know, I was not very good at the game. I was just kind of playing it for fun. I think for some reason I came back and there was like signs on my island, which was very weird. Apparently like boosting or something. I don't know if it was legitimate or not, and I don't play anyways, so it's not like game reset hurt me at all, but if I do ever play, I do have a fresh start, I guess. Yeah, I did not get superior dragon armor. I was not playing that much. I played so long ago that it was probably much different rules. Do you want to bet that it does that orb attack again? Let's see. Look, it broke. Isn't that great? I wonder where it went. Below it looks like. Yeah, the key thing about being an influencer for Ghost Simulator is more about the making of content and making like good content for Ghost Simulator than it is on like the requirements, I would say. Like if you make good content and you're like a good character, I guess, too, like being mature and nice and all that stuff goes a long way. But yeah. Alright, I'm just, like, it's possible for the final boss to come back. I'm not holding out hope. Looks like we managed to glitch it again. Okay, it is potential. No, it's just not working, is it? Well, I'll increment this to 4 and probably stop skipping that bus that's first start scheme. I have no idea. I have no idea how to help you with downloading stuff, and like most of it is just because I have no idea what's going on, but yeah. Why does the final boss glitch out? My best guess is that there's a desync in... It's hard to explain, but my best guess is that there's a desync between the client and the server. Basically, my PC is running some code on the final boss, and the server is also running its own code. And I'm guessing something in there's a conflict where it sets its Y position to either too high or too low, because of them like both trying to update its position at the same time. Like my guess would be a tweener problem where like they tween the position to make the final boss drop down. and for some reason it gets interrupted and ends up setting its Y position just horribly wrong. Some of it has to do with I'm skipping. It probably isn't worth it to skip. I am impatient, so I skip. I should probably stop. I don't know how the devs still have motivation when the game has a low player counts. The thing is, they aren't really working on this game too much. Like, they're more or less keeping Ghost Simulator afloat more than anything. Like, they have a lot of contributors working on, like, the dialogue, so the devs are not doing too much to the actual game itself. I think the main one is going to be, Royal is the main one that is actually developer-wise working on Ghost Simulator, adding the code and updating that and making features and stuff. And he's been new to the game, new to the Bloxbyte development team, and he was kind of added on just for Ghost Simulator. So he's new still, so he still has like that motivation. Whereas all the other developers are more of working on other games for Bloxbyte. Like they're working on like 3, I think they've confirmed, and they're planning on releasing at least 1, maybe 2 this year. Don't skip it. It saves more time than resetting every other time. Yeah, you're probably right on that. We'll try not skipping for a little bit. I wonder what the other games will be. Yeah, it will be definitely interesting to see those other games come out. I hope simulators. They've confirmed that they aren't planning on releasing any simulator games. I could go pull up I might be able to go pull up the Discord message from Maki that says that, but they've said no simulators. Which Ghost Simulator really isn't a simulator. It's more of a lore-based RPG with similar aspects. I mean, most endgame players play for the simulator aspect of it, but, you know, they can call it whatever they want to. But yeah. Skipping can definitely glitch the boss, and I think I just did that impatient thing where I skipped on accident. Force of habit, sorry. But it looks like we did manage to get fine on this one. I guess when I have low lag, it glitches less, so if we do have like low lag like this, we'll just kind of let it do its thing. But if we do get low lag like this, we'll try to skip. But if we're having like high bouts of lag, we might as well let it either cool down to a lower lag state or not skip. Yeah, I'm horrible at first-person shooter games. Like, I tried Minecraft PvP. I am horrible at it. Any fighting game or first-person shooter game, I'm bad at. Yeah, I also don't think it'll be like in a genre that we're like expecting like a tower defense or anything like that. Ghost first-person shooter, when you fight ghosts. Yeah, I don't think they're making anything Ghost Simulator based on that. I don't think they're going to make like a Ghost Simulator 2 or a Ghost Simulator spin-off in another genre or anything like that. I think it'll be something new and unique. And you know what? I just realized I should move my YouTube chat dock over to the right side of my screen rather than left. Like right now, it's so far away from where I try to look when I'm looking for chat that I end up just reading what I have on the OBS, which is a little bit smaller. But yeah, I hope it's a tower defense game. I can't say it won't be a tower defense game, since I don't know. But I don't think it's likely for it to be like a genre that people are already familiar with, like tower defense or any of the other ones. Okay, there we go. Let's expand. There we go. What if it's Ghost Simulator Candy Crush? Yeah. That would be too simple. That would have already came out like a long time ago. So that's very unlikely. What's your thoughts on the new update? I like reading the new Divine perk. like green. Okay. Overall, I really like the update. Like, they fixed a few bugs. Like, they fixed Ectobit. I think they fixed another big one. I don't remember at the time. But they fixed a lot of quality of life stuff. They improved the gum converter. They removed one of the useless fights from the final boss to hopefully make it less laggy. There's one other thing that they also did that was really nice, that I don't remember at the moment. But I think as a whole, those were good parts. The problem was the divine sets in Reed were just useless. Like, the new divine set was just a reskin of Spirit Seer for the pet, and the board looked bland. So I felt like that really wasn't necessary in the update. It just did seem like it really should have been included. I'm trying to forget it exists. And then Reed, like, he's a good idea. I like the idea of having a board space NPCs. I think I was like one of the first people to suggest that. But the fact it only gives you 25 space, I feel is silly. It should give you more like 100 or 50. I'd say 100 or 150 would have been better. Just since like the board spaces, you start with a base of 30 board space or pet space, and the first one gives you 50. Whereas here you start with 100 board space for free and only get 25. The discrepancy there is pointless. The Divine Hoverboard's cool. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at the new Divine Hoverboard. I've literally seen like one glimpse of it or something. I haven't really looked at it myself. I'm personally just trying to forget that the Divine set exists, because the fact it's just a recolor of Spirit Seer is it's something. Yeah, we maybe I don't really know what we'll be getting. A new creepy cat would be kind of interesting. But yeah, I think one of the big things that would have really been nice for this update is, like, they updated gum converters, whereas we haven't no one in the community that I know of has ever complained about gum converters being bad. Whereas gem converters, every endgame player that I know has at some point complained about how bad gem converters are. So the fact that they updated gum converters but didn't touch gem converters just was a little bit annoying for me to see. And then there's people that are like complaining about the smallest detail too about like the game, and it's like, wow, okay, can we try not making a big deal out of like this one thing that affects one player out of the whole game, and instead focus on the bigger issues? But you know. Alright. I really wish it did stop spamming this attack, but we will go overcharge for a 10%. How do you guys like the music in the background? I kind of just download a whole bunch of random stuff from the YouTube free thing. I think it sounds good, but if you guys want like a different type, that would be nice to know. Infinite Quest should give storage/other stats. Yes, that has been one of my other big suggestions. Infinite Quests are stupid right now. Like, the whole point of an infinite quest is for them to be useful for something else to grind for, and right now they're not that. I know, actually that sounds like a lot of like, I know I've seen suggestions on milestones recently. I don't know, you may have been the one that suggests it. But yeah. Yeah, gum converters being bad are just weird. Yep, that was definitely part of my improvements video. the more times I say something, the more likely it is to get into the game. Except like devs don't actually watch my content. I don't think. I mean, they may. I know they occasionally do, like for when it was good. When Ghost Simulator is like on a really popular note, they did like once or twice, but honestly, devs don't really watch my content. But yeah. No, there was a suggestion in the Blockspike Discord about that exact same milestones from Beeswarm Sim. So, I mean, Beeswarm Sim is a popular game that I know a lot of Ghost Simulator people play. So, getting ideas from Beeswarm Sim to get that people suggesting it for Ghost Simulator is actually not that rare. You see it quite a bit. Are we going to have enough? Yes, we just had barely not enough. Barely good enough, not lag, I don't know how to phrase that, to get onto that, podium. But yeah. I haven't played Beastworm Sim in like a whole like month and a half. I kind of stopped like halfway through the first half of, Beesmith when I realized that like the game wasn't actually going to stick to its timetable. Yeah, no, Beastworm. Yeah, also like, I don't know. I'm not good at making Beastworms content because I can't really make good Beastworm content because I don't really know Beastworm Sim. Like I know Ghost Simulator, so I can make good Ghost Simulator content. That's like correct. I have made a few mistakes on Ghost Simulator. That would be kind of interesting to bring up all those, but yeah. I just got 202 gum. Yeah, getting gum is really good time to get gum. I know lots of people are spending a lot of time getting gum right now. If I didn't have 50 boss gums, I would be spending time grinding gum right now. Just since I also need a glitchy rift, and honestly, it's nice, but yeah. Yeah, I was like mid game, so I just felt behind on Beastworm Sim and didn't see like a reason to really play a lot more, especially since like my content for it was mad best. I have this pet called Sid. Is it good? It's a really old pet, and since it didn't have the best stats when it was released, I think it was slightly underbought. But yeah, it's going to be pretty decent, like rarity-wise, I think, for trading. So definitely hang on to it. Like the problem is they're like, wow, okay, we are lagging a lot. The thing is, it's kind of hard to like actually trade stuff in Ghost Simulator at this point. There's not too many people actually trading, and like, there's no real reason to trade since getting good stats is already accomplishable pretty easy. Yeah, just keep grinding and just keep grinding the backdoor for the gum. Eventually, you'll get whatever you need. Beastmas 2021 ended at the Cup Buddy quest for most people. Interesting. I didn't even get that far. I kind of, my interest in it died off like quickly, which, you know, probably is bad for me being a YouTuber to have a short attention span, but yeah. Also, how do you get Rift Gum? Gum. It's just a really rare gum. Same way you get like any other gum. You just turn in for a converter and get very lucky. Like it isn't very useful for most people. Like you need to put like 10 hours or so into getting anonymous bags before it's useful. And so it doesn't matter that new players can't get it, but yeah. It gets too grindy. Yes, games, unfortunately, they need to have content for it to satisfy the people that want to play the game. But unfortunately, having a lot of content makes new players not want to play a game. So you have to like do this balancing act when you're making a game to both make it fun to play and have enough content, but also not make it too much content. Is Scar any good? I'd say Scar is probably one of the better pets. It was unfortunately out when like Ghost Simulator is super popular. Otherwise, like old pets like it would become like super. I just noticed it's snowing outside where I live, which is kind of ridiculous for how late it is. But yeah, Scar is pretty decent. Like as a general rule though, just don't trade if you don't know what values are. So like if you're new to a game, don't trade. If you don't know what an item is, don't trade for it, don't trade it. Because that way you can't lose anything and like get sharked or scammed or anything like that if you just don't trade. It's amazing how many people just don't understand that simple concept, but yeah. I mean, it's understandable. Trading is so addicting. I get into it. I try to get into it, but yeah, it's unfortunate though that trading can go so downhill. Yep, there are so many horrible stories about people losing good stuff from that. It's an issue that is unfortunately plagues games. Yeah, lag makes it kind of hard to focus on this, so we're just going to kind of hope that we don't get too much lag right now, or hope that it fixes itself. Yeah, here's the thing. 4 dino loot bags are useless, but so is the godly from like the first crate, so in my opinion, that's like one of those trades where it doesn't matter at all. Like when a trade's so small like that, I'm assuming you mean like the current dino loot bag from like the Ghostly Vision, but I guess you could also mean like the OG, which maybe was better, but like still, I think you mostly just got gems from that anyways, so it wasn't really too much good anyways. Yep. Yeah, no, there's a lot of old people at this point. I don't know values anymore. I used to know values quite well, but now I don't. And there's a lot of old players that don't know values either. But at least they usually know not to trade. When's the best time to use the Glitchy Boss Gum when doing the final boss? I'd recommend right at the cutscene. Like when the cutscene starts. Like you have a lot of free time there. Like the only trouble there is remembering to do it, which isn't too hard since there's nothing else to do. So you either tap T or you go into your hit the X, like see how my hoverboard's locked right now? If you click that while it's locked, you open your inventory. So if you don't have the item hotkey, you can always access your inventory that way if you use the gum. 2018 one. Yeah, in that case, it's not like a bad trade, but it's kind of annoying to lose stuff like that. Okay, we may actually end up missing the final boss, which means I need to focus. Unless it's like 5 shots, in which case we're done already, but no, we are getting really low. Okay, phew. I was starting to get a little worried that I'd end up missing that final boss. But yeah, basically once you defeat it, you just tap T. I've done it, I don't know how many times, but I do it multiple times just to be sure I don't forget it, but yeah. Is Grands worth it? 100%. Grands is... It's not easy to do, but it's kind of brainless to do. You just auto-click or whatever, some random gum, and then you get it for free. But yeah, and then... Yeah, I'm using Boss Gum right now. But yeah, the gum hotkey is so useful when grinding. That getting added was probably the best. It was actually one of my... I can't say... Yeah, no, I think I can safely say that it was my suggestion that got it added. I suggested it so long ago, and then recently they asked for, like, specific good perks to add to the game. And one of them was me mentioning the gum hotkey. I actually have a little picture of it on my PC somewhere where I made a little sketch of what I thought it would look like, which it's close. It's not exactly the same, but it's close, but yeah. No, I am using Boss Gum right now. As you can see, it's there. It doesn't show up down here for some reason, probably since your screen is gone. But yeah, it's being used regardless. All your suggestions are getting added? No, they actually aren't. I have a lot of suggestions that I've said that the game should add and they don't get added. It's just, I notice when my suggestions get added a lot more than when I notice other people's suggestions get added. But also I do play a lot, so in general, I know like what the game could use more than other people. Like new players don't really know very much on like what should be added to the game or what the game's missing. So older players are definitely going to have an advantage when it comes to making good suggestions. Honestly, I would love the fact that my suggestions get added, and I would prefer, like, getting compensation for a suggestion getting added is just silly. Like, the only reason I'd suggest it is because I want the game to be better, and that in itself is a reward for me. Especially since I'm making YouTube content. So the game being better already basically pays me back. Use FPS unlock if you're lagging. Yeah, I haven't done anything like that, like software to improve it. I mean, probably a big thing could be just me figuring out my cooling problem for my PC, like getting a better fan or figuring out some other thing to improve my laptop. Maybe just getting in an ice pad to set on it so it can cool itself down. That's not a good idea. But I mean, maybe I could do it, but like, honestly, it's not too bad. Like, when I'm not streaming, it's really good. Relatively speaking, but yeah. Can you lower the music very slightly? Yeah, I can. Thank you for letting me know it was a little loud. I think hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, guys, I just want you guys to point out I didn't skip that time, and it could have very easily glitched out there just because of the lag. So it's not really always about like that vote to skip. It's sometimes just about being super laggy when it decides to do stuff. But yeah, my FPS is 65, and I think it's bad. In my opinion, anything over 10 FPS is fine. Like, I've been playing on, like, not good PCs or anything like that. They're good. Like, definitely high quality for, like, what I need. But they're not, like, gaming or anything like that. But, yeah, honestly, anything over 10 FPS for me is fine. How much longer do I plan on doing this? Probably another hour or two. I started about an hour and 15. Yeah, we're making pretty bad, actually, not horrible pace for bosses. We've done 3 bosses, I think, maybe 4. Actually, if we'd done 4, that would be, like, right on track. I don't know. Probably another hour and a half, I'd guess, to give, like, a 2.5 hour stream. Kind of feels like whenever I feel like it's slowing down or I get so fed up with the final glitching out that we just stop. But, yeah, we'll see. Alright, we want to overcharge like right here, and then get this way so we can avoid the orbs. Should I grind for the 10 trillion ectoplasm hoverboard? No, since you should be able to do that pretty easily like later, since currently I get 60 trillion ectoplasm per cell. It shouldn't be too difficult for even, like, for most players to just progress through the game, get good stat pets, and then come back to get those currency hoverboards, would be my recommendation. Rather than, like, worrying about grinding for them when they first see them or think they can get them. So get, like, good stat pets, like Rebirth, like, once or twice to get, like, ghostly vision pets, like lucky cats. And then once you have good stat pets, go ahead and start grinding for them if you want. like, I'd recommend doing overall progression before, like, focusing on stuff. Like, focus on rebirths before focusing on, like, specifics like that, but yeah. X-Board. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there in Ghost Simulator like that just no one cares about and is still in the game somehow. Infinite quests. But yeah, it was cool when the game probably first came out to have those unlockables, but at this point, no one cares about unlockable boards, like, at all. Like, there's a slight amount of people that care about Hoshi Blade. Very few, but slight. But other than that, it's kind of just a gray sort of thing where it exists and people know it exists if someone else brings it up, but they don't particularly care one way or another about it. I like the idea of unlockables. I just wish they scaled better as the game has grown. Which, scaling as a game grows is almost impossible, to be honest. Like, ooh, we are getting kind of bad lag, but you know what? At least it's helping us not get hit by the final boss. Yeah, you can't really shoot when you're at low FPS is one thing I've heard. I want to play the game, but I also want to watch the stream. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I used to, when I play Roblox, sometimes I have two screens. But like even before I had two screens, I'd sometimes just have YouTube running in the background just so I could like listen to something interesting while I was watching it or while I was playing Roblox. So, I mean, it does make grinding a little bit more difficult since laggier, but it does make it a little bit more interesting too. So, doing both is probably not bad, but I'd recommend like grinding yourself over watching me grind, to be honest, if it's a choice of one or the other. Have any non-classified pets gotten close to divine pets yet? I mean, ghostly vision pets are exactly 50 or are only 33% worse than divine pets, which is a bit, but it's not too much, to be honest. That's like, all right, I was about to say 10 pet evos, but 10 pet evos is quite a bit. I think mainly though is the currency is what I like to say, since I don't care about my vacuum speed. It's mainly the currency boost that you get. So it's like one of each currency boost to get yourself up from ghostly visions to divines. But yeah, no, divines are definitely decent stats. But yeah, definitely they don't have too much competition either. First, whoa, that was a huge lag spike. I'm glad that it looks like Ghost Simulator isn't having like too much of the horrible lag that it used to. It's more of just standard lag at this point, which is nice to see. If you guys understand what I'm trying to say, not too much of like the extreme lag that it used to. You just get these randomness where you could like barely do anything. Like right now, whenever I'm lagging, it seems like it's for a normal reason, but yeah. What quests are worth doing and not wasting time? Mainly progression quests, like main hub. The only ones really worth doing are going to be Adam in the Block City, Jesse in the desert, and then Finsley in the beach area. Those are like the only three. All the others are either just for lore or other not really worthwhile quests. Those are the three that you're really only supposed to focus on. Yuwu, Gramps, and Gran are good, I guess, but they're more of like a passive quest where you have them like in your journal and you just like slowly will get a boss every now and then and you'll eventually check off and get the next one. Ghost World, only quest really worth doing. Leo, maybe if it's like your first time rebirthing or you want it. Yoko, do Yoko. And then go ahead and do Gatekeeper. And then maybe Fern. And if you really, really want to like grind on your current life for like currencies, then you can also do Shelly. But those are the only ones worth doing in Ghost World, other than like Ace. But Ace is so short, I don't even count him as a quest most of the time. But yeah. Are dev classifieds worth grinding? Yes. Dev classifieds are ridiculous good stats for how common or how easy. They're too easy to actually get, but they're like, they aren't too difficult either for how much stats they have. And then like backdoor, it's pretty easy. Basically just a clone of main hub. You do the progression quest lines of Riley and Rowan if you want to while going through it. Actually, no, backdoor is quite a bit different than main hub. I should stop that. You definitely shouldn't do Billy during the backdoor, but Rylan and Rowan if you want to during the progression. Otherwise, just spam through it with loot gum. How did you get the courage to use a face cam? I just decided to I don't like making a big deal out of stuff. Like, you won't see any videos on my channel where it's like, ooh, face reveal or voice reveal. I just decided it improved the quality of my streams or to have this face cam, and I have it already integrated into my PC, so I might as well just turn it on one of my streams. So that's kind of just what happened. So yeah, that's honestly, and it was like one of those things like, what do people really get from seeing my face? It makes the stream better, and I don't really lose anything. Like, how much does it hurt other people having my face? Not much. Like, not much at all. No, yeah, no, the blocks fight classifieds are ridiculous stats. It is so worth it if you do get one of them to just keep it and use it for stats. Like, that's kind of my goal for this doubles events, is to get like 800 plus of the block fight keys, and then hopefully open all of those, maybe on stream, maybe not, and see if we can get a good classified and just kind of, you know, cheese the game a little bit because it's so good of stats. Honestly, it's kind of game breaking how good those stats are from it. Not as bad as like Code Pets or the double items event, but yeah, it's still ridiculous stats. Oop. I needed it to jump. If we jumped, we would have made it. Anyways, that green eye only needs like 5 or 6 more shots, so it doesn't matter too much. Four, 5. Yeah, you play Final enough, you figure out like how long each of the things takes to kill. It's kind of silly. You'll get stream luck, like when you got Zing. Yeah, no, getting that Zing was ridiculous. I doubt we'll get that lucky, but you know, 800 keys is going to be a decent chance at getting it. So I can't say I won't. I'm gonna go grind. See you on next stream or Discord. Yeah, okay. Goodbye. Thank you for coming out to the stream. I'd love a mass opening videos, so I'd watch that stream. I love the mass opening videos, so I'd watch that stream. Yeah, I don't know. I've never really made a video out of my streams. I do have like that one like short video. I don't know how I was supposed to make it a short, but it's currently just a video of me unboxing Zing. But that's the only segment I have from any stream in my videos. So I probably should figure out how to do that before I do it, because I know mass unboxing, it's one of those things where it's both fun in stream and also kind of fun for me to make a video on too. So yeah, no, there are people that have gotten super lucky like that, and RNG is like that, where you can get it in like in 10 keys, but it isn't likely at all. I'd say most people agree that it's between 1 in 1,000 and 1 in 2,500. Or at least that's my opinion and what I say other people say. So yeah, usually when I say other people think that, that's just what I think other people think. I probably shouldn't ooh, what's that called? We are getting really bad lag right now, so it does give me some time to think without looking like the stream's going horrible, because the stream's already horrible. Yeah, 2,500 does sound a bit too rare, but also you have to account for some observation bias too when you have, people are a lot more likely to report that they got a classified in a low amount than they are to report that they didn't get a classified in a low amount. That's like 1 month of straight grinding for a chance. Ish. The thing is, you are wasting time if you're grinding Final Boss normally. You always want to be using Glitchy Boss Gum when you're grinding it. And honestly, you shouldn't be grinding. Unfortunately, only people like Game Pass can really grind Ghost Simulator. It's kind of annoying how that works. You can't really grind Ghost Simulator if you don't have Game Passes, which I think is a problem. I think games should be a little bit more available for anyone to grind, but it is what it is. But yeah. Whatever the case is, it's still not too bad. It's much better than other classifieds, like especially Cloudwave. Cloudwave is ridiculously hard to actually get. It is the same normal of a normal classified, and then also you have to go for void keys. On my second rebirth with no game passes, I have Lucky Cat and 2 Atoms. Oh, that's actually nice. Lucky Cat is really good stat-wise for new people. Atom's not too bad either. But yeah, no game passes does make the game a little bit rougher. I would like to say that. I feel like there should be some more balance for those. I know the change to the backdoor items was helpful for people that don't have game passes. It does break the game for people who do, but yeah, the game does need to be a little bit more balanced for normal people than it is right now. Loot Game Pass should nerf Loot Gun by like 10% or something. Agreed. Double items is so overpowered right now. My main thing for nerfing it was to make it stack additively instead of the current multiply. So instead of multiplying ×2 for the double items plus, or ×4 with the Glitchy Loot Gum, instead of that, it should be like plus 100% for the Game Pass and plus 300% for the Glitchy Loot Gum. So each on their own, they aren't changed at all, but together they're only a ×5 instead of a ×8. Makes the game a little bit more balanced, and along with like the change to backdoor, it basically changes endgame grinding by nothing while boosting everyone else's progression quite a bit. I think that's just like one of the very easy way to change how the game works, without making anyone mad or anything like that. Oh yeah, the new Robux gun is stupid. I've said this since it came out. Devs, I've shared my opinions with the devs on Discord, said they all needed like big buffs for anyone to actually use them. Nothing. Don't buy the new Robux gums, they're stupid. The only people that should be using them are going to be endgame grinders. And since they last an hour, those are going to be like the only people that actually play for like an hour straight to get use out of a gum. But even them, there's better gums for them that they can get easier. Like Robux is expensive and should give you a premium thing. So I think all those gums need huge buffs. Yeah, like the big thing is just for me is just increasing the multiplier. The boosted Lucky. Ooh, we almost forgot to use our glitchy boss gum. But like the Lucky Gum should be 3 times. Slightly better than Glitchy Gum. But since it does cost like 300 Robux, that's quite a bit. And it is kind of a hype thing where a lot of people go for Lucky since that's what they're used to being good. They go for Lucky Gum. So having it a little bit more expensive, pretty good, and hype for like new players will make it pretty good. I mean, people might say it's a little overpowered, but it's a Robux item. Robux items are meant to be overpowered. Glitchy Boss, the event scum should be ×4. Make it equal with Glitchy Boss Gum. The faster photon speed Should probably also increase the amount of photon damage you do, since currently it is useless. I like the idea of it, but it feels so useless, since you can do the same thing as increasing your photon blast with just using Boss Gum, and it works better. I don't think it should progress with where you are at, since, like, it doesn't really matter where you're at for something like that. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but, like, it doesn't make sense for it to progress differently in the different areas. Alright, if we are having good lag, it looks like our lag is good, so we will go ahead and vote to skip, since... Okay, we're fine. That attack is the one that indicates whether or not something broke. So basically you wait for that attack, and if it does that attack and decides to glitch out, you know it broke when you spawned. But since it did that first off, and it's still inside the arena, barely, we're fine. But yeah. No, but, like, the new players, like, honestly, new players need a better buff. Like, the gums will be even more useless to newer players, even at the same rate. So, like, if anything, like, new players should get a better buff to the gums than old players, just since they don't get as much use out of them. I know what you mean, like, it should scale so that more people should get some better. But I think, honestly, it should just be at all around pretty good. Or really good, in my opinion, but yeah. I actually do have that same issue of my Ghost Sim, like, random lag spikes. I think it's my PC's CPU doing, like, it. Sometimes it decides to, oh, we'll try to render really good, and then it realizes it's overheating. So it decides to limit the amount of resources it's using, which cranks down the amount that of CPU that's being used on the game quite a bit, which causes the lag. Which may be the same for your computer, may not be. Like, Ghost Simulator is kind of laggy, so and that does have some random lag spikes, so who knows. But I definitely have that same issue, but mine's like more of a PC issue than it is a Roblox issue. But yeah, the boosted Robux gums need a buff. They're useless right now. And Robux should not be useless, like, at all, ever. Which I do say with some of the Game Passes in mind too, like, you know, the starter pack. Starter pack's just useless too. I mean, it's not too bad, but the fact that it's worse than Code Pets is just, like, silly. Like, you can either buy the starter pack and get a 40 vacuum pet, or you can enter free codes and get 120 stat pets. So 300 Robux for less, or free for more. It's not even a comparison, really. No. Nope. I think they should work on fixing what they have before they add new content. So I think they should first make the gums usable, and then figure out how to, like, balance them. Like, that's my opinion on it. They should release something and then balance it. And currently there's a lot of stuff in the game right now that is not balanced. Like, at all. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't really say anything about game balance since I haven't really made a game myself. I mean, I'm trying to, but it's not really anywhere at the moment, so can't really say anything definitive about game design yet. I'll get back to you guys when I actually do have a game, like, good designed. Tell you guys a little bit more about it, I guess. Right now, I'll just say I have one. You guys can find it if you want. Fix Pet Evo and backdoor. Yeah, I don't know if that's an issue. I don't have Pet Evo. I don't advocate for Pet Evo. I think Pet Evo is worse than Ectobit Tycoon by a lot. I think you should go spam 20. I think Ectobit Tycoon is like the only rebirth you really need. I don't believe in Pet Evo at all. But yeah. Why get Pet Evo when you can get Divine Pets? Yeah, honestly, that's not a bad way of putting it. Like, going from Ghostly Vision to Divines, it's actually better just to go Divines than it is to go Pet Evo. And I say not to go Divines either. Like, I would recommend people just go spamming into Ectobit, since currency, in my opinion, is the only thing that matters from things, and all you need is really one good currency and you can get a good amount of gems, and Ectobit is just a ridiculously good rate right now. So yeah, Divines are the best pets, right? No, there's actually 4 classifieds actually better. You have Vexflower, which is slightly better. You have Cosmic Wing, which is usually the pet that people would say is better, is your next upgrade, since it's a classified still and also not too bad. And quite a bit better. And then you also have Cloudwave and then the developer classifieds, which everyone just groups together. But yeah. Yeah, they're the 5th best pets. Oop. It did the jumpy thing, and so now it's kind of problematic. It'll come back. Yeah, it does take forever to convert anything. So honestly, currencies right now are kind of not worth it. But eventually the converters will be fixed, or the old players will riot or something. I haven't organized a riot yet, but I may have to if we just continue not getting a converter update. It's a joke. I don't actually want to make a riot. I just want the converters to be useful. Okay. Yep, I think everyone's on that same train where there's so much bad stuff at the point, or at least I am saying it very loudly, and so a lot of people are getting that same message and realizing it. One of those two things. Probably not. Is the game you're trying to make a simulator? No, actually, I think it's public on my Roblox profile, but I think it's a unique game idea. It's way far away from completion right now. It's very bad code right now. It's like, if you put, like, think of the worst game you guys have played, like, game-wise, and then make it about, like, put that thing in beta, and add, like, 20 bugs, and that's what my game is currently for, that I'm making on Roblox. I need to put, like, another, like, year or so work into it. Unfortunately, like, the big thing is I really want to, like, get data stores in, but I also don't want to use data stores before, like, I actually get, like, good progression, because I don't want people, like, breaking the data, if they're, like, breaking the game's, like, data storage instantly, and it's its own problem. Pre-alpha, yeah, it's a work in progress. Honestly, I wouldn't even recommend playing it. I was just trying to point out that when I talk about, like, how game design, like, Ghost Similar should improve and be better for new players, I don't really know what I'm talking about and don't know how to do that the best. I'm basically just trying to say I'm not an expert because I haven't really done anything like that. Pre-alpha. What's, like, the genre? It's a round-based game. So, yeah, it's not like, it's like own genre too. It's very hard to describe. It's a cool concept, I think. It's a cool and unique concept. Unfortunately, I'm not the best person to implement it, so it's slow progress. I know a decent amount of balancing. Yeah, people that play games a lot usually do know at least some ideals on like how to balance or what's good for the game, which it's not too hard to actually get, but actually implementing it is a whole different story. Like coding wise, can be a nightmare. I wonder how many keys we're at. Like, I haven't checked. I know I got like 60 or maybe even 100 like yesterday. I had a bit of time, so I spent some time grinding. Combos are annoying. Grinding on grinding the final boss myself, which wasn't too bad. So I have a few keys from there, but I also have now quite a few keys from here. So let's go quickly check. Ooh, actually, never mind. Actually, we're fine. I was just remembering that you can't access your inventory through your X thing. Like, you can't access your inventory by clicking on here if your inventory's if you had it open before. So I was realizing that would break, but I do have the gum hotkey, so it's fine. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, right now, it's basically required to use Glitchy Loot Gum to progress through your game. Like, without it, it's just so slow, but at the same time, like, it's not really an easy way to do it. And it's still snowing outside at my house. I thought it would be like I just looked out the window, and it'd just be like 5 minutes or something of snow, and then it stops. But nope, it's still snowing at my house in the middle of spring. Oh boy, like, 2 days ago, we had like a very good Sunday. Like, not an actual Sunday week, but like, it was very sunny outside. The dog just went outside and just laid in the sun for like 2 hours, but yeah. Your channel's awesome, you're underrated. Thank you. Yeah, actually, I mean, most of it is I'm kind of playing Ghost Simulator as my main game, which is also underrated. So if I'm playing a good underrated game, chances are I'm also a good underrated YouTuber, just by association. But yeah. Oh yeah, barn is by far the worst area in Backdoor. It's not made better by Billy being bad either. So yeah. Unfortunately, I don't really know. It's one of those things where it's just a minor problem. But yeah, it definitely could use, if it had some more attention, it would be better. Unfortunately, it isn't like every suggestion is a good suggestion either. There's a lot of new players in like Ghost Simulator who don't really understand like what the game should be or like what would be good for the game, and they just suggest the randomest stuff, and the developers have to like sort through those bad suggestions and good suggestions and figure out how to implement each suggestion and whether it's easy or hard to implement, and it's just weird. Yeah, yep, that is, yeah, it is ridiculous how underrated Ghost Simulator is. And I think the big problem is it just takes way too long to get into it. That's my opinion, is it takes way too long to get into Ghost Simulator where it gets good, for people to actually play it, like new players to get into it, which if no new players come into it, the game is going to die. That is just how games work. But I don't know how to fix that. I do not know how to make more players be able to get into the game easier. I know the game is trying with events, good code pets to get players in, but I don't think it has to do with like how fast people progress. I think that more has to do with the structure of the early game than how like stats or trading or how much stuff they can get. But yeah. Yeah, the thing is, like, asking new players what would get them into the game, it doesn't help. They don't know what would get them interested in the game, so you can't really easily balance it either. It's its own problem, and I'm kind of just hoping someone else fixes it. Yes, simulators are definitely, as a whole, they've kind of gone downhill since it became a genre. Like making I don't know if you guys on YouTube, there's that whole Minecraft butt thing on videos, and it just got so overused that videos that contain that just, it was interesting for like the first 5 videos, and then after that it was just like, oh, wow. And yep. Yeah, getting into Ghost Simulator is definitely going to be the hardest part, but yep. Don't remind me of Minecraft butt. Oh, I am so glad I never created any videos like that on my channel. I do have Minecraft videos, but no one really ever watches them, so I kind of just gave up making them a while ago. I still enjoy Minecraft and play it quite a bit in my free time, but I don't know, I'm not really good at making Minecraft content, or honestly in general, I'm just not very good at making content. I'm decent, but I don't quite know exactly what to do. We are good on lag, so we will go ahead and vote to skip. That is my current theory, is if you aren't lagging, you should vote to skip, and if you are lagging, you should not. Yeah, no, the thing is, I'm actually, developers could actually, like, join me pretty easily. Like, they can, I don't do clickbait. I try not to do clickbait too much. I try to make interesting videos and not, like, based off the, I don't even know, I think it's just a stereotype at this point what the clickbait is. Because I don't know if I've ever seen a video like that. Oh, the fact that broke, and I thought it would be fine. Alright, we're up to 5 finals broken. I think that one was lag when it did that attack, not lag when it, spawned. Ghost Sim, but if somebody asks for a pet, the video ends. Yeah, that's the problem. Ghost Simulator doesn't really work with video ends or bots or anything like that. Maybe you could construct some, like, Ghost Simulator bots, but, I don't think video ends would be cool. Is clickbait really that bad? Like, I haven't watched any videos with clickbait, or I have, but not that type of clickbait where it's just ridiculous stuff. It's usually just, like, clickbait as in making the actual part of the video more obvious. Alright, I was going to go check. How much blocks by keys do we have? 196. How? How do I have 196? I know I accidentally did one boss without the, I accidentally did one boss without using a Glitchy Boss Gum, and I'm trying to figure out how multiples work right now. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, that's 64 times 3 plus 4. Okay. Okay, we're fine. I was trying to figure out if I forgot another one. Is there going to be a glitchy puzzle key or a void puzzle key? Who knows? I'm guessing there will be a puzzle in the void. Or not in the void. There's going to be another puzzle maybe in the back doors at some point. I don't think there will be another one in the void, since there's already one really in there with the maze for unlocking the bow. But maybe one in the back door, and almost definitely one in the new world. I just really hope that the next puzzles they have, or even the current puzzles they have, are actually doable. Like, currently, the current puzzles, like, no one has legitimately solved the Ghostly World puzzle. No one. Some people have, like, attempted it. Like, I know I attempted it. There's been other people. But no one, there's too many pieces and not enough ways to put, not enough hints on how to put those pieces together. Like, yeah, no, just no one. Even the testers, like, testers are supposed to test, and they work on the puzzles, like, beforehand, before the devs put them out to full release. The testers themselves, they spend like 10 hours as a group. Okay, like 3 hours as a group working on it. They brute forced the second part. No one legitimately knows the solution to the second part of the puzzle. Like, at all. Which is just mind-boggling that the best player, maybe not the best, but some of the long-term players of Ghost Simulator just couldn't figure out the puzzle at all. Like, even the other parts, like, I couldn't figure out, and there's not enough hints to really know that someone should go use ASCII, or even use ASCII on the numbers you have, or even just use those numbers that are behind the NPCs for the first part of the code. The puzzles need to be more hints and better. I am actually annoyed at how difficult that puzzle is. What made me even more annoyed was, like, people trying to say that the puzzles were fine and then not knowing how the puzzles were solved. Like, you can't say a puzzle's fine and then not being able to solve it. Yeah, the thing is, with testers, they have a lot of, there's a lot of testers, and they know the game pretty well and are pretty knowledgeable. So they have enough knowledge to be able to guess and check a lot of different routes pretty quickly, and a lot of different knowledge and people come through. So group project testers, they're really good at solving puzzles, and honestly, it's a surprise. It's very good that they could solve the puzzle at all, but, like, still, puzzles should not be that difficult. It should take, like, one person 3 hours max. Like, someone like me, I should have only took 3 hours solving that puzzle with 0 hints. But it took me 5 hours, and I had to look at solutions to every single part of the puzzle. I couldn't even find the button to start the puzzle on my own. It was, you can watch my video on it. Yeah. I've shared my opinion on it. I just don't think I've made my opinion clear to, like, the devs who actually care, or actually can do something about it. And I don't think I can. Like, at this point, it's too late for them to care about my opinion. I don't know. It's hard. Like, even if I make a suggestion, I don't know if they read suggestions anymore. I know they try to, but seriously, there's been so many things that just compile into me not believing they actually do read them. I know they want to, and I know they say they do, and they probably have their I know they almost definitely have moderators do it and then report like the biggest ones to them, but then that makes it even worse, since then you have to like go through moderators, which some of them don't really play the game too much, and so they don't know like what a good suggestion is or stuff like that. But yeah, it's too late for I mean, they could add the hints there, but very few people are going to be trying that puzzle by themselves at this point, so it's a moot point. Like even for the Archie puzzle, which is relatively easy comparatively, no one really understood this solution. I think one person actually understood the solution to that one. So I can't say no one solved that one, but very few people solved that one legitimately. It was mostly just brute force for the lever combo. Yeah, unfortunately, puzzle design is one of those things where the developer's designing it, they're going to think it's easier than it is, and they don't quite know. And they testers aren't. As a tester, I'm not being very good at giving my feedback on puzzles either, since I try not to do puzzles before they get released because I can make content out of doing the puzzle, or at least I've been trying to. And so makes no sense for me to do that, but yeah. How did people figure out Archie? Did they get hints? Archie's, the code is a binary combination, is the binary for 45, which is the amount of pets that are hidden. Which makes sense when you think back on it, but is not obvious at all. Like, the 40 pets will unlock all the levers, and at that point you think you're done with the puzzle since you haven't found any more pets. And even if you find pets afterwards, you don't know that they're part of the puzzle at all, and you aren't counting them either. It's just it's a mess, in my opinion, how that works. Like, when you explain it, people can be like, oh, but like, you realize it's not at all obvious, or you have to realize it's not at all obvious, or like, there's no reason people should count pets that you're clicking on and actively getting rid of during, and that should be a combo, let alone like randomly encoded into binary without like a hint that you should use the pet number or even use binary. Like, there should be a hint that you should have used a mini pet or something hint, and then also a like binary somehow, like a digits to make sure to combo thing. Yeah, no, use brute force first time. Same thing with the second puzzle on the Ghost World puzzle. Those levers, people just brute force them. No one actually knows the solution, why that's the solution to the second part of the puzzle, like, at all. Like, people are saying maybe it's binary for 10 NPCs. It's not binary for 10 NPCs because it's color coordinated. And I can rant here for like forever, but it doesn't like actually mean anything. I've posted it. I should probably post a better suggestion, a more formatted, with more of the details, since most of it has been more of rant based that are kind of, honestly, I've been kind of rude about some of the updates recently and like the puzzles, so clearly making a better post on them would probably be a good idea instead of just ranting about it, since right now it'll come back down. It always comes back down. It'll come back down eventually. It's not broken yet. We'll make it. Made it. What's my favorite game other than Ghost Sim? Do I have one? I don't actually play too many other Roblox games other than Ghost Sim right now. Currently, I play a little bit of mini golf, or super mini golf or something, just because it's fun in the pastime. But honestly, I don't really play a game to play the game. I just kind of play it to pastime. Beastworm Sim, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, goodbye. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. It's actually kind of nice to see people asking questions or just talking in the stream. Yeah, no, I've definitely slowed down on the amount of Roblox games I play. Like a year ago, I would have said MM2 because of the trading. Even more than a year ago, like 2 years now, I would have said MM2 because of the trading. But MM2 just kind of died for me. Like, too much duping, economy was in shambles, developers didn't care at all about the game. Like, it's like the opposite of Ghost Sim, where it's actually popular, breaks terms of service, and doesn't update the game whatsoever, with horrible game design, and yet people still play it. It's kind of infuriating, realizing that. But mid-game people are so lucky in Beast Swarm Sim. Yeah, I'm heavy mid-game in Beast Swarm Sim. How much keys have you got? I'm up to almost 200 now. After I defeat this boss, we'll be slightly over 200. What's the new... Actually, that's a good question. I don't really know what the new social media code is. I'll have to check on Discord. I'm guessing it's, Oh, never mind, I remember. Let's see. It is spiked, I think. It gives you a spiked pet. That's all I remember. Barbed. Okay. Yeah, it gives you a spiked pet. But yeah, I'll just type that in. Saying letters out loud is horrible. There we go. Barbed. For spikes. Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about whether or not, I don't know, but like, it makes you wonder when popular games can get away with stuff like that. I mean, it is something small, I will say that. Like, and it was probably added after Ghost Sim, or after MM2, like, kind of had that system in place. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have, like, a own personal agreement otherwise, but still, the fact that the terms of service is breached is just weird. The knife hitbox is in the... Yeah, it's... I think the big one, it was, like, you have to reveal chances. For games, they have to reveal the chance of getting something in a box if people, like, pay for it. It's kind of obscure whether it means, like, if they buy it for Robux or if they buy it for, like, any in-game currency. But at least for Robux, anything that you can buy for Robux, or either directly or indirectly, which is explicitly stated in the game, you have to reveal the chances of getting each and every item from that crate. Or you have to at least reveal chances of that crate. Which, if you are aware, MM2 has godlies, which do not have a shown chance in the game. Which, I think you can see how that explicitly breaks that rule of terms of service, but yeah. Yeah, MM2 used to do that. It probably doesn't anymore. I think it was probably added because of MM2. So I'm guessing MM2 doesn't matter that MM2 broke that like 3 years ago. But yeah. Have I lost to the boss yet? I have not lost. I have had to quit it 5 times because the boss decided to glitch out of the map. Which you could count as a loss, but it's in like the first 2 minutes of the game, so it really doesn't matter. Honestly, losing to this boss is really, like, even with this lag that I'm getting right now, it's not really feasible. I think the lowest I've got is like a 17-second left, which is kind of low. I'm usually around like a minute-ish. Usually a little bit, usually like a minute and 10 seconds sometimes. But like, even 10 seconds isn't too bad. Alright, goodbye. Thank you for coming out. It's definitely been a nice stream. And good to have people ask questions in chat, especially when I'm doing something this sort of... This easy to... But yeah. Can I trade you a mini final for a wormhole? I do not have a wormhole. But I I think it's pretty safe to say that someone with Wormhole would be willing to accept a mini final for it. I think Wormhole and the other classifieds from those loot bags are pretty much worthless. But yeah. I love to support small YouTubers. It's being a small YouTuber is weird. Like I do it for a hobby, but seeing people like actually enjoy my content is sometimes so mind-boggling. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just unfortunately how it works. I mean, Roblox probably should be better at that, but like when you go to conversations, like sometimes it's not necessarily like them saying something specific about that. It's like potentially an admin not quite understanding how the conversation is, or like all the specifics of the conversation or something, and so just misreading. It looks like we're going to accidentally gain time. Lag makes this boss fight a little bit more difficult, so hopefully that boss does come down so we can kill it, but yeah. Alright, am I going to use the keys in the stream? No. I'm going to try to get as many keys as possible, but not going to be using them during this stream at all. I may have a stream later once the double boss event, or double items event is over, but for now, we are just getting as many keys as possible. Yeah. Alright, there we go. We're now doing gain like 45 seconds of time. Which is nice. I'm not going to complain. It is weird though. But yeah. Hello! Yeah, just don't hop up and glitch onto the map. I need the time right now. Yeah, lag can be like... Lag is probably your worst enemy in the final boss fight, so you're not really fighting the final boss fight, you're fighting your lag. Which, streaming at the same time is... probably just a bad idea. Actually, I might be able to... Oh, there it is. Came back quickly. Sometimes it can just hang up there forever. Which can be annoying, but yeah. Oh. Yeah, the only reason I would use that smile emoji is if I'm wanting to annoy someone, or I like the upside down face on Discord. I used to use it quite a bit. But yeah, but yeah. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people lag, and so you might be the only one that doesn't lag a lot in the final boss fight. I'm not too bad when I'm playing normally. Stream makes it a little bit laggier. Still not too bad. But yeah. I was about to say, hopefully we get the boss soon. Or, I don't know exactly what I was going to say. It's either going to be that or boss is going to die soon, but, yeah. Did manage to do that. I have remembered to use our Glitchy Boss Gum this time, but yeah. Now I'm going to head out. Goodbye. Thank you for stopping in. Yes, I have used gum. Let's see. We'll probably do one more boss fight, I think. And then we'll probably end the stream. It's a little bit slower than I would normally, but honestly, I like doing streams like this. It does get me a little bit more motivated. 16 bags. Now we have just over 200. Yeah, if I don't use a Glitchy Boss Gum, I technically lose like 12 keys. It's right now Glitchy Boss Gum's worth a lot. Basically every Glitchy Boss Gum you have is worth 12 keys. Final keys, which 12 final keys is quite a bit. Yeah, 20 more minutes-ish. Yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Actually, I might open a few keys just to get myself down to like a round number. Maybe like 4, since I did accidentally grab an additional 4, so I can actually have like things. But yeah. You lose like 6 hours without ×2 loot. Yeah. Yep. ×2 items is definitely something that's on the broken side of Ghost Simulator. Both the Game Pass and like the event. I'd say the event is more broken, but both are pretty bad in terms of the game. Oh, good. Yeah. Sharing a TV can sometimes be a little bit annoying. I know when I was younger, we had like a Wii, and the rules were like you could only obviously only one can use it at a time, and if you wanted to play like your brother wanted to play a racing game, but you wanted to go play Super Mario Bros, you were out of luck until they got off. So, PCs are kind of better in my opinion that way. But yeah, it's kind of how that's kind of how living together works, both with siblings and other people. All right, we're going to skip now that we have lower lag, and hope for the best. It looks like we did manage to get one of the non-breaking attacks first off, so just hope that the tweening didn't break either. Okay, I was about to say, I was about to wonder if like it did just glitch out, but it did just do the jump attack, so we're fine. I'm the only one with a PC in my house. Oh yeah, honestly, having a personal computer is one of the better things in my opinion. Like even a bad one is, you can, so long as you can still like access the internet, it's not too bad. Am I tired of defeating it? Actually, not really. Honestly, defeating Final is like something I've done so much. It's literally just I could probably do this subconsciously at this point, even with the lag or. I think it did glitch out. I'm surprised people came up with the idea of the internet. Oh man. It's not so surprising that people came up with the idea of the internet until you realize like, how ridiculously complicated the internet actually is. We are going to hope that, yeah, I think the final boss broke. Yeah, I definitely got addicted to Ghost Simulator 2. It's kind of like the only Roblox game I play at this point. Man, so many. Alright, I think we're going to call it quits on this boss. It looks like it's not coming back. Update that counter. I think that one was because I skipped. I think that one's safe to say. I've seen you on the daily. Yeah, I've been on the daily leaderboard a little bit. I'm not like one of the very high-end grinders that are like always on the leaderboard. I get there. I only literally a small amount, but yeah. Honestly, I'm going actually at a little bit of a slower pace than usual on my final boss because of the lag, but yeah. Yeah, honestly going for the leaderboard is kind of fun a few times. Creepy cat type pets are my favorite type. Cats are cool. Like, I'm surprised my cat hasn't joined the stream yet. She did it on like my previous stream. She every once in a while just decides I need to give her some attention, so she walks in front all over and decides to join the screen. You have lag? Yeah, I have. Final boss is laggy. I don't think anyone can say otherwise, but yeah. I know I have a few creepy cats myself. I think I've just got all of them just because I've been playing every event. I'm not like super excited about it. I'm more about like the purples in the game. But yeah, the fact that they have like pug reskins and creepy cat reskins and purple reskins. It's really cool to see how much people enjoy having those reskins every like other event or something. So I like seeing them, even if like some other people may be like, oh, what's the point in having the same reskin of a pet? It's kind of lazy. No, I like having reskins of pets. Yeah, I don't really know, honestly. I don't keep track of what my inventory looks like, honestly. It's kind of just hopefully has everything. I know my alt has quite a bit of stuff too, so even if I don't have it on my main, I usually have stuff on my alt. We're just going to let this one play out since we are lagging quite a bit. What about the Seer reskin? That's a different story altogether, and I personally think that's a little bit on the lazy side and should not have been added. I mean, it is just a new divine set, so it's not like it really impacts the game too much. But on the other hand, there's no real point just adding something. Yeah, there wasn't really a point to add that, in my opinion. I mean, the thing I do try to remember, though, is that if they did add, like, the new divine set at the same time as, like, Spirit Seer and just had them both be, like, the same with each having a different color, people would have viewed that as fine. Like, having a red and a blue pet of the same, or, yeah, red and a blue come out at the same time, was kind of cool. Ended up leveling 3 purples because you had said it was your favorite. Yeah, I don't think I've actually leveled any purples. I have a few leveled just because I have to level every random rare pets sometimes. But like, I don't actually, I like the cosmetics. But I don't really ever level like random stuff in my inventory. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't sit well with me when I saw that the new divine set was just a recolor. Yikes. Oh, you just got Mini Anonymous? That's actually really good. I know a lot of people can really use those stats, so when they do get them, that's nice to see. Like, even if you, like, trade for them or someone hands you out them for free, it's still really nice to get those good stat pets. Like, Ghostly Vision stats are usually, like, the first thing I'd recommend people actually going for in Ghost Simulator. Like, it's something pretty easy to do. Lucky Cats, mainly, since those are actually too hard to get, you can get them before rebirthing if you do a little bug. It's just a minor bug. Definitely fine to do. You got your first classified board a few weeks ago? Oh yeah, that's very nice. Getting your first classified is always kind of cool. I know I've gotten a few boards in the past. And even though I was kind of surprised on them and didn't really grind too much for them, it was still really nice to see them come out, and I do kind of like them. But yeah. Oh yeah, I think Reflection is really cool looking. The one from the Jolly Roger loot bag. I think that one's ridiculously good looking. Like, I like solid colors. I really like how solid colors work. And so when something's like a solid color like that, but it's also very cool concept, and also, you know, it looks amazing. Which is probably why, like, Diddy board is my least favorite corrupted board, since it is just kind of a mess of colors. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but solid colors for me are like really always look good. Which kind of explains like why I'm like solid purple on my avatar. I know like gradients exist, and gradients are like fine for making something look cool, but like nothing beats just something being like monochrome. Alright, looks like this boss isn't going to glitch out, so we should be able to defeat it and safely call this our last time joining in the world, but yeah. Yeah, if you do have, like, I know they have a concept channel in the Discord where you can send stuff, so if you have a really cool concept to add, they are very likely to accept that. Like, being unique, it doesn't even need to be good art, it just needs to be, like, very unique and looks good, but yeah. It may get added. Like, that's the thing. They sometimes they have a lot of stuff already set up for an event. So especially if you're like making a godly style pet, like something complicated, godly like, they sometimes just don't need more godlies for the game, and so they just kind of skip over them. Whereas if you make like a square pet that's like common looking, they're always in need of those. Hi, remember me? I do not Sandy Luna, but it's nice to see it. Yeah, better at describing it. Yeah, honestly, I'm pretty bad at art too. I just like, you know, I rely on my idea being good rather than my art looking amazing, because people can usually envision what the pet will look like in game if you can at least draw the basic details of it. Like get down like the colors-ish you want it to be, and then like the general idea of like having like a hat or not, or stuff like that, where it's just like kind of the general idea. Yeah, I think there are so many good artists on the Discord that it's kind of funny how bad some of us are. Or at least I feel it's weird just being bad at art, and then just seeing like how half the Discord can just draw the most amazing stuff. But that's just kind of how it works. Some people are better at other things than others. If it's a different account, there is no way for me to remember you. Like, the only thing I am going off of is your profile picture and your name. And I'm usually bad at remembering names and not too good at remembering profile pictures, so, yeah. Honestly, it's amazing how many good concepts end up in the Ghost Simulators concept channel. It's not a surprise that some of them just don't get picked, since you can only have so many good-looking godlies come up in the shop. Like, so if like 5 people post a good-looking godly in a week, only like 1 of them can really be made a shop item. Amazing. Oh, yikes. We're about halfway through this boss, I think. I don't know. I kind of just blank out like how much actually goes on during a boss fight. You guys have probably noticed I like rarely actually dodge that sword attack that comes from the sky. I'm not paying attention to the fight or what it's doing. I'm more of just paying attention to keep clicking it as fast as possible, which is all you really need to do during this fight. I like barely move or anything. Yeah, I only have like really 1 account that I play with on Ghost Simulator. I'm assuming you're talking about Roblox account. I think most people only have 1 account. I have a second alt for like storage and stuff, but I rarely play on it and I wouldn't really count it. But I know who you're talking about. Big 10-4 has like 5 alts, I think, at this point. And all of them are like better than mine, normal ones. So, yeah, there's some people that have spent quite a bit of time on this game. Yeah, honestly, I feel like having too many ults is probably a bigger issue than not having enough. I know a lot of people end up having like 5 or 6 ults and they only ever really use like their main. And I don't know why I'm shooting it, but... And we got pushed off. Oh well. We're fine. We're only lagging a little bit. Where's the timer? Oh, we have tons of time. I was worrying that we might be very low on time, but it looks like we're actually doing very good on time. We're not pulling a 1 minute resetting back up to 2.5 minutes this time. That was kind of a very slow boss fight. Oh man, I am not that old. Sometimes I feel very old seeing who's playing Roblox, and then other times I'm reminded that I'm super young compared to other people. Like, honestly, problem is I don't really know how to talk too well with other people, like older or younger, like anything, but you know. I've been a gamer for your whole, yeah. Honestly, I've been playing games since I was very young too. It's definitely part of that younger generation thing where we got addicted to video games. But it's nice to also see old people play them, but I don't know. It's also weird seeing old people and realizing that you play the game with same game as someone else twice your age. Nice, but weird. How do you get the board? There's a puzzle in the Bloxbite HQ that you can solve for it. Just look up a guide on... There's a good... I know Vix has a good guide for it on his channel. The wiki, not a bad place for a guide if you're fine reading and trying to understand words that someone wrote 2 years ago. But yeah. Man, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't really understand first-person shooters, but I don't understand first-person shooters, but I understand why people like them. Like, I've never played like a really like Call of Duty or anything like that where it's shooting stuff. I'm bad at it. I don't understand it, but yeah. Welcome back, Icy. This is going to be the last boss I defeat during the stream. Yeah, I keep hearing about Wordle. I thought it was like the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, wasn't that like, I was thinking like it was like an old trend that was like a year ago or something that no one really did anymore. And then I started seeing more of it and I realized maybe it's a recent trend that people are starting to get into a bit more. And then I realized maybe it is just like both an old trend and a new trend where it was like a thing like 5 years ago and it's came back like Among Us was. I know I actually played like Among Us like 2 years before it became popular. And I'm like, oh wow, I remember playing this game like so long ago. Why is it coming back up? So I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. I kind of like the idea of board-based games. They're interesting and at least somewhat educational, but still it's kind of cool to see different games like that, but yeah. Yeah, Backdoor, I liked how Backdoor had that start again basis, where you reset your pet's backs and your things, but I know other people like, it's a little bit harder than it is beforehand. So some people do struggle a little bit going through the backdoor. Don't worry, you aren't at the worst part of backdoor yet, so if you're struggling now, you're going to be struggling more later. Yikes. So, there's more coming. Yeah. It's unfortunately though, that's like one of the things. You can either have like the game snowball out of control by sticking with the same thing over and over again and just make like half of it useless, or you have to reset at some point like with the back door so people can actually like make progress again. It's a trade-off you have to do with games. I like how you went up like 100 subs in one stream. Yeah, sometimes it's ridiculous how fast YouTube algorithm decides to make you grow. Like, it's all about whether or not YouTube's algorithm decides to send people to watch my channel or not. Yeah, see ya later. Welcome back, Cabin. We are on the last final boss, and we're on the last part of it. So as long as we don't lag too badly, we should be able to get 16 keys, and then probably open like 8 of them. I don't know. I just want to get down to like an even number, so maybe just 4, so we're at a multiple of 16. Yeah, I've played a little bit of Terraria on my phone, which is probably the worst since mobile is probably very bad controls, judging how Minecraft has very bad mobile controls. But yeah. Hello, Jonathan. This is kind of the last final we're doing, so you all are like jumping in for the last little bit of it. I guess we will do like 4 crates, but it's pretty slow. I pray you get a class fight in the 8. Yeah, it won't happen. We're going to get like random bad stuff, but yeah. Did you spend Robux when it was your first time playing Ghost Sim? I actually played Ghost Sim like up until they added Rebirth. I was more or less free to play in Ghost Simulator. So I've been free to play. I was free to play for the longest time in Ghost Simulator. By free to play, I mean I had some perks, but like not most of the more useful ones. Like I may have had 2 times souls. I had a few game passes, but it was like mainly storage and other like non-useful ones. Like it was like double souls and more storage was it. I'd have to like look if I could, but like yeah, it was. For the big part, I was free to play on the first part going through the game. We are going to go use Glitchy Boss Gum right now. I almost always forget that when we get into this dialogue, but yeah. Yeah, the thing is, I didn't actually get too much use on a 2 times souls, since I wasn't really endgame when Ghost World was endgame, so. But yeah. What do I play except for Ghost Simulator? I play Minecraft quite a bit. Quite a bit on my realm currently, a little bit on random servers. Very recently, I just started playing like the last 1 or 2 days, I started playing a little bit on some of those. I do play some mobile games, like Brawl Stars is probably the big one that you guys may know about that I play, but also Leaf Blower Revolution. I made a few videos on that a while back ago, and I downloaded it on my phone since I got an app for it, and I've been really enjoying that on my phone and playing there. I do have a realm. No one really plays it. I know I invite people quite often, but it's one of those things where it kind of makes sense. People play it for a little bit. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and use 4 keys. And I think 4 keys. I'm trying to do math on what? 16. Okay, we'll do 228 mod 16. 228 mod 16. 4. Okay, so we just need to use 4 keys. So we'll go ahead and open one from here. It's a pat. Scoops. One from here. A fill. One from here. We're just spreading the love. Oh, a drifty. And one from here, I guess. And we got a godly. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I was just kind of getting myself down so it was actually a multiple of 16, but yeah. Realms are on Java, right? I could join if it is. Yes, it is on Java. I don't really, honestly, there isn't too much ever really going on, but yeah. No, I wasn't really expecting anything. I was just kind of opening those so it would be a little bit of interesting and more time on the stream. and also just because I'd accidentally done one without Boss Gum yesterday. So, yeah. I've actually used, I think, 14 Glitchy Boss Gum now, but yeah. Next string, can you help fans with finals? I don't like public servers. I do not like public servers for the final boss. It is, I mean, maybe if enough people want to, I could, but the problem is, like, actually people getting into my servers, not easy. I'd have to send them a friend request, and then, like, are they going to be playing for 2 hours? Probably not. 6 broken finals? Yeah, that was a 50% rate of finals broken. Although every single one of them was skipping, I think. I don't think any of them was just glitching out normally, but yeah. But yeah, I have just over 200. Which I just realized is a ton of keys. But yeah, I think that's it for the string. I can't think of anything else. Ooh, Zing, yeah, the Zing I got yesterday. I don't actually have any pets equipped right now, since apparently they cause lag for the final boss. But yeah, this is a Zing. It actually has not too bad of stats. I mean, it's worse than Atom, but, you know, it is a low tier classified, to be honest, so, let's see, what does it have better stats than? I think it even has worse stats than Code Pets. 31, what's Code Pets currently? I want to see, it may have, no, it definitely doesn't. I know I can't beat the Great Guardian because I died 5 times in there. Oh yeah, Great Guardian is difficult for new players. It's kind of weird how that's the first boss people get to and also the most difficult. But yeah, you going to do another giveaway like the last time you do it? Maybe. I know a lot of people do enjoy those mythicals, but yeah. Yep. Yeah. Nope. Zing is definitely not better than any of the Code Pets you guys get. So, yeah. Just checking my inventory one last time. But yeah, I think with that is going to be the stream. Thank you guys all for coming out. I really like the amount of people that were managing to chat during the stream. It's nice to see people ask questions or have comments, or even if you just come in and ask what I'm doing, that's amazing on itself. But I'll end up getting around to grinding some more of this tomorrow and on Monday, and then probably maybe making a stream or video on unboxing these is the hope. And I will see you guys then, maybe. So bye.